The 10-minute drill.
This is a big one.
Covered by Universal Roof and Contracting. The difference is Universal.
On 1010XL.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hit it.
All right, welcome back. Got some sports concepts and rationalizations. Good news, we won't fight today. Actually, physically.
No, that's true. Yeah.
No physical fighting. So
There may be
Maybe
some
I'll breathe
emotional
on it.
scarring, though.
Maybe if I don't like the way it goes, I'll make a quick run in there and breathe on you.
oh dear. No.
That's aggressive.
Dear.
That's somewhat aggressive.
I'm at home. I just kind of update people. I know it sounds funny when one person's on the phone, unless they're off, honing their journalistic integrity and covering something. But not feeling great. I'm not feeling great. I feel kind of allergy-ish, but I did run a little bit of a fever last night, so better safe than sorry. We'll see where we're at the end of the day. How about that?
Yeah. All right, let's do some sports concepts and rationalizations, kick it around a little bit. Let's go through the NFL. Became official yesterday, I guess, so everything became official.
Mm-hmm.
But other things are happening. I saw that, for example, I'd like you to start by breaking down the Tyler Shatley signing.
Well, Tyler Shatley signed on for a groundbreaking 24th year here in Jacksonville. A lot of people don't remember Tyler joining the team in 1996 and playing a valuable role on special teams. And since then, he's a man. That guy has been gainfully employed by the Jaguars for a lot of years, which I'm not going to make fun of it. You got to have a swing lineman,
he's a good
right?
dude, man. Yeah, he goes in and
plays
plays
every position.
Yeah. Yep.
So
I tell you what,
cool.
I was a little surprised about the Keelan Cole one. Putting the
you're not as big on Keelan Cole as they are.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt.
I think that's a high tender. I'm surprised they're willing to pay him $3.5 million.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's a lot of money for a fifth receiver, right? I mean,
nobody's. And by the way, it also shows a complete tone deafness to this year's draft. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is going to offer a second-round tender on Keelan Cole with the rookie talent that they can get in round two. So I didn't understand that either. I know they're trying to protect keeping him for sure. You didn't need to put a second-round tender. No one's going to spend that on him.
And by the way, what if they draft, Ruggs or Judy or 9 or 20? What if they do that? I mean, yeah.
I guess you're going Chark, Ruggs or Judy, Westbrook and Cole. I mean, those are your guys.
Conley.
Yeah, a veteran for sure. Yeah.
They're all ahead.
What did they do with Conley? They picked up his option.
He's back for another year. Yeah. So
listen, it's easy because they lost so readily last year. I mean, they didn't just lose; they lost without giving up a fight so much of the time.
Right.
So it's easy to be bottom of the barrel pessimistic.
And no Marquise Lee yet. They haven't released him yet, which is odd.
That would be odder than Tyler Shatley.
Yeah. Because he's.
I want you to
$8 million.
Yeah, right. That seems like I think it's $5.4 million, I believe, for the cap purposes. I think.
Right.
I was a little bit not surprised, and we talked about this a lot, but just to kind of reinforce with Nick Foles being traded yesterday, it's kind of universally thumbs up for the Bears in the move that they made. It's just interesting how distinctly different the Nick Foles' reputation is around the league and what he did here last year. Yeah, it's
I saw as we bounce it around, I saw a statistic yesterday. I believe the Jags lead the NFL in dead cap money, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, and is that not just the quintessential term though for bad decisions?
Yeah, that's what
it's one thing to have. It's one thing to have a cap problem. It's another to have a cap problem with a guy who's producing for you.
Yeah.
But when one is sitting on the beach in L.A. wondering if there'll be a backup somewhere, and the other's been traded, I mean, they got $30-something million in quarterback money alone. Dude.
Yeah. Well, that's
thank God for them. Thank God for them. Gardner Minshew is a 6th-round rookie.
Oh yeah.
It would, but you're right about one thing. You better hope Gardner Minshew doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, I'm guessing they'll bring somebody in again. I tend
and
to
they won't be any good. Whoever they bring in, then, right?
I tend to think, what have we said? What's the word we've said when talking about quarterbacks? Glut. I tend to think they'll bring somebody in who has some experience, as opposed to drafting a guy, because you're going to go from a second-year guy to a rookie if something happens to Gardner Minshew, who, by the way, did get banged up last year, and is not the biggest cat in the world. So anyway, that's.
I've got something on I've got an email here I want to kind of intertwined with what we're doing with me at home today and everyone kind of on edge. But this comes from someone that lives out of my neck of the woods. Is, hey, man, I, too, last Friday had a low-grade fever all day, felt like crap. ATM by Saturday, I felt fine. So hopefully it's just a bug that'll be here and gone quickly. And
well, listen, we have had at the television station, we've had, so one of our reporters is Russell Colburn. And
Sure.
Russell does a great job. I haven't seen him. He was on vacation, spring break. He went on a cruise. He went to
bad timing.
Yeah, he went to Mexico. He was traveling. He went to Mexico, and then he stopped at Disney, a 1-2 punch.
Good.
So he comes home to all this news, and he immediately does not come into work and self-quarantines, and actually went through and got tested because he said, I feel okay, but I do have a little shortness of breath. I started to feel a little bit bad. So he went and got tested, and we're awaiting the results of his test. Now, we also have another reporter named Christy Turner, and again, I saw her on TV the other night, and she was hit with the flu. But she has the flu, and she was back to work yesterday. Okay, it's just it's a combination time right now of springtime, and again, I'm outside a lot because I think I may have told you this yesterday, but inside Dan's world, I walked back into my house yesterday. I worked last night in TV, and we're sort of.
We want to go public with this? Let me give you one more chance. Do you want to go public with this?
Oh yeah, I love them all.
Right.
They know that.
Okay, all right.
But so I
as your friend, you know.
I know. Thank you. But I worked at TV last night. But the sports guys are trying to kind of stay away from the station. We're trying to work out in the field, so to speak. And I did a live shot early. Now I go back in and did the late shows. But I go back in fairly late, and our office is down the hall from everybody, so it's kind of a self-quarantine anyway. But I walked into the house, and my beautiful wife was working at the dining room table. My younger son was in his room doing school stuff, and then my older son, working from home as well, was working from our house. And
that's not good for Dan time, by the way.
It's a killer on Dan time, an absolute. So I immediately put on the gym shorts and said, I'll be back. My point being, though, you go outside a lot. That pollen is brutal right now, bro.
No, that's the thing.
So
I'm not trying to dramatize
understood.
some COVID storyline here. I'm just trying to be like everyone is a little, just a little safe. And here's the thing too: the way this thing is working is, for most people, look, if I do have something that serious, I can tell you right now that if you have my physical makeup, then it ain't going to bother you because I don't, like I said, but I don't want to tie those two together. But what is a reality is the way this thing incubates and passes, that you could be around somebody and then don't find out that they had it until 2 or 3 days later. So, it's not even irresponsible on the part of people who are passing it. They don't know that they've been exposed to it anywhere until you already have it.
Right.
At least it seems like that could be. Can you explain something to me?
Yes, sir.
For the life of me, man.
That's what I'm here for.
What is the downside to a business operation purchasing its own COVID tests from a private company with their own money and testing their employees?
Well, I don't know what the cost. Why are we not supposed to do that?
Well, they're giving the Brooklyn Nets a ration of criticism because they dared test their players. By the way, 4 of whom tested positive. So if an organization, here's why, Dan. Oh, you're skipping to the front of the line. Oh, you're testing rich NBA players when sick people don't have a test.
Well, I'll say that. I'll jump in real quick. One, I think most people would agree, and again, I'm not getting into the blame game whatsoever, but we are, as a country, we've been, and this is on the government, been a little slow in getting the testing out. I think everybody would agree with that.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Like, look, if you're someone like me and you feel a little bit sick, I don't want to just, not know. I'd rather take it. And then if you know, you can deal with it, get through with it, not pass it to anyone.
But you would not be a candidate to get tested right now.
Right. If I could go to CVS like it was getting some aspirin and take a test, and obviously this thing is too new and we don't have that yet. But in the case of the Nets, I think it's proactively responsible to test your guys if you have means to a test. Not to mention, they were in L.A. where you know, they played in games where players in their league have already proven to have tested positive. So, you know, the mayor of New York City really is the one who complained, and I just think it's weak. He said that we wish them a speedy recovery, but with all due respect, an entire NBA team should not get tested while there are critically ill patients waiting to be tested. Tests should be not for the wealthy, but for the sick. They had 4 tests positive, you dolts. What are you talking about, not the sick?
Right.
Anyway, I just that's silly. And by the way, if people are really sick, I think we know they're sick. So, yeah, they can wait on the test, treat them as if they have it, because apparently they do. Oof.
All right, let's
again.
Yeah,
we're in the early stages.
Yeah.
Talk to me 3 weeks.
Yeah, I know.
Where people don't know if they're sick or not, don't know if they can work or not. I saw all the retail got shut down yesterday. This is going to get tumultuous here sooner rather than later.
Well, I'm hoping that as a country that we're flattening the curve. I think we are, and I'm hoping that happens. I can note that there were no new cases in Wuhan, which is the epicenter of the virus, yesterday. So that kind of was about a 2-month run in China, and they're on the backside of it. So hopefully, if we can get there, that would be good news. I know China and South Korea. South Korea, by the way, is being lauded for their handling of it. But I do know that they're both playing basketball again without fans, but they are playing basketball again. So, you know, again, we're week 1, so the numbers are going to continue to go up here, and then we'll move on from that. Let's do this.
Hey, guys, just a fun factoid that pointed out on the comment section during the Facebook Live stream of the 10-minute drill. Well, 2 fun facts. One, Dan, you've touched your face 3 times in the last minute. Are your hands clean?
Yes, they
the
are.
Other, not to add a depressing note, but today would be round 1.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Today would be the day, huh?
We'd be hunkered down today.
Wow.
I almost wish you hadn't reminded me of that.
Wow.
Yeah, I almost wish you hadn't reminded me of that.
Round 1. Noon, by the way. Noon.
Tip-offs.
You know what we do here? We go.
Be a great day to self-quarantine.
Man. Yeah. We go home, and we kick it right there. A lot of dudes get their
Do the ball doc?
Yeah, go see Dr. Baldock, the legend in Jacksonville, and then
watch your bracket explode in front of you, especially this year where there's this would have been. That's another thing that makes it worse this year, Hick. That we were headed towards all-time calamity in that bracket. I mean, it's been going since the opening night of the season. Nobody who's supposed to beat somebody does. It's just been crazy.
Remember this too. For about 5 minutes, there was there won't be as many upsets because there'll be no fans. That was a discussion for a short time before we realized that there was going to be no March Madness.
Yeah, right. Be careful what you complain about. Right?
And it was a week ago today that we were watching Hideki Matsuyama card to 63. It was a week ago today that the conference tournaments were being called off. FSU and Clemson were fixing to tip it off at noon. The bands were on the court, and it was a week ago today. So
it doesn't, and it's like this in these situations, like culturally, these phenomena.
Yeah.
It feels a lot longer than a week, buddy.
Yeah, I said this last night. Listen. We love. It's affected me. I miss sports, man. I miss sports terribly. I miss it. I miss it so bad. It's hard for me to. It's hard for me to imagine a world without sports. Quite honestly.
Well, I'm with you on that. The one thing that I have found, though, I love you. We're very similar like that. I mean, the two of us could sit down for a weekend and just go from sport to sport to sport, as long as I don't put it on soccer for 5 minutes and you'll lose your mind. But but what I have found, what has really jumped out at me, and again, we love and want and need sports more than normal people, and that's which is fine. And there are some out there, by the way, who love and want it as much as we do. They just don't work in the business, so I'll recognize that part as well. But what's really been imprinted on me during this time is how often sports is the bailout, the fallout. In other words, at 4:00 on a Saturday, somehow I end up on some sporting event rather than Roadhouse or some syndicated TV show. How many times at night, if it's not a show that we watch, it's basically network TV at this point, it's Survivor and not much else.
Yeah.
I always would fall back on Sixers Nets or watch a period of a hockey game. It's amazing how many times it was it was always the fallback option.
Right.
So I put it on my boring TV to fall asleep. But I've done a good job of just shutting it off, understanding that there's not going to be games for a while. So I think it's helped me, at least in this first week, not, really, really miss it. Just understand that it's almost like, I almost feel like you feel waiting on football season when it's June and you're not going to have any till September. I just accept it. And because there is a long period there once the NBA Finals end, Dan, where all we have is Major League Baseball.
Right.
This is not that. Well, that's not true. I guess you have NASCAR and golf and other things, so I probably should include them. But in the big sports, you got a lot of people who aren't avid Major League Baseball fans. I think we're in a desert that a lot of people consider to be the same from July 1st until September 1st. Or training camp.
We're gonna take a break. We're gonna check in with Doc Murphy. We may check back in with you down the road. Got a couple things I want to bounce off you, but we'll do Doc Murphy next and continue on with the drill. Let's do caller number 3 right now at 641-1010. Beef, tell them what they win.
Caller number 3 right now, Dan, at 641-1010. Going to take home today's prize pack, which is lunch for 2 from Sonny's Barbecue. Call right now, 641-1010.